The move situation tonight, the dropping of an incendiary device, and let's take a careful look at this. 5:27 p.m. State Police helicopter drops it. There is the explosion. As you can see, a very dramatic explosion that occurs 30 seconds and really rips into the move compound. There you see the bunker, which soon will go up in flames, and that was the explosion close up. Now, if there's anybody there, standing there, it's obvious they couldn't survive that explosion.
That was WCAU.
Hey, state your name. What's your name?
So my name is Val Paul.
Okay.
And you know, remembering what happened back in 1985, like, you know, I was young at the time, but I kind of remember, you know, like it was yesterday, you know, seeing the bombing and seeing the way the public was reacting to it. You know, it was just something that was just mind-boggling to me. You know, and something that I just can never forget.
So, do you, to this very day, do you think the West Philadelphia community, or just Philadelphia period, is like over it, or what's the temperature, the feel of the communities?
I feel like the feel of the communities right now is that, you know, it's something that we will never forget. You know, it's a bomb. They literally dropped a bomb on a house, you know, in an open neighborhood. Like, this is not like, you know, they were going through war or anything like that at all. For me, it will always stay in my head, you know, even with the community itself. And a gentleman by the name of Rennie Harris, he actually created a piece about it called The Philadelphia Experience, where, you know, he had a set design of dancers just coming to kind of incorporate what was going on, the feeling of it, and the mood of the community and so forth. It was so intriguing to see and to understand that, you know, this is something that the Philadelphia community will never forget. You know, it will always stay in our minds that, you know, a neighborhood was bombed.
So, for the move bombing, I know you're from North Philly, but that happened in West Philly. How did that affect you as a Philadelphian?
Honestly, I don't know how it affected me. Like, I don't think, I thought about it along those lines, other than what I didn't understand was how the mayor, who was black, this is Wilson Good, actually bombed, gave approval to drop the bomb on the house. That part I didn't get, because it felt like that would be something maybe a white mayor would do, like in particular Rizzo, Frank Rizzo, who was known for, amongst the black community in Philadelphia, as racist at the time. He had the first fight with them in '78, I think it was. So it just felt like out of character, which was interesting. I think as a moment that kind of marked corruption, and like the clear corruption. That corruption didn't have a color, so to speak.
So I know you you was commissioned to do a piece on the move bombing from 1985. What was pretty much your process in making that, and being able to like bring that same feeling that the that the Philadelphia community felt at that time onto stage?
Well, the easiest way to do it was, Deborah Africa, who was one of the survivors. There was two survivors of that bombing. It was Deborah Africa and Bertie Africa, who was a kid at the time. We, because of JB, Joe Myers Brown, had a connection with Deborah Africa, we were able to go bring her into the studio and have her recount what was happening, what happened.
Who's JB, Joe Myers Brown?
Yeah, that's what I said, Joe.
I know. Who is that? Who is she?
Joe Myers Brown, the artistic director and founder of Philadenko.
Okay.
So so anyways, we went to the studio, asked her to just tell her story, and we took that and then we started creating music around that story. We used most of her story as more or less an intro for the whole thing, and then we added some stuff in the mix and at the end of it, and throughout it. But it sort of like kicked off the whole piece, basically.
Other than asking to leave, and then if in fact it's not to leave, remove it from the house.
There was an incident in Philadelphia where the city bombed some houses of a cult that they call a cult, the move situation, right? And so that is mainly what it's about. That unfortunately for us, Ramona Africa, who is the living person, other than the little boy, her family go to my school. So we had.
Did you have a concern that the people in that side of that house might be in physical danger or that their lives might be in danger?
Concern? We knew it. Excuse me, you had 200 boot-kicking, Gestapo-oriented cops out there that day. You had that day a police officer by the name of Mulvihill, who was in the 1978 tragedy, who was in fact one of the officers who stomped and kicked and beat and bludgeoned and shot and helmeted and kicked some more my brother, Delbert Africa.
So as I understand your testimony, you were concerned that there may be physical harm to the people inside that house. Is that correct?
Would you turn up your hearing aid, please?
I can hear you fine, Mrs. James.
Well,
My
then
question
if you
is,
can hear me fine, if you don't have a hearing aid, I suggest you get one.
Well, because
excuse me,
yes, ma'am.
to ask me, and what we concerned is complete insanity.